finished. And here we see Alaskan Anomalies coming out with goats, it seems like, on attack. A May comp coming out from Team Disconnect. Alaskan Anomalies are going to have to make sure that they get through the choke very, very quickly and together if they want to be able to survive the splitting potential from the May wall.
It's interesting that they have Ash in here.
Ash provides a lot of potential shield break and high pick potential, especially when you separate key points of the goat's composition with the May. And then also her ultimate is very, very strong against a goat's composition if they're not able to move very quickly away from its AoE damage. Here we are, starting out early. Alaskan Anomalies coming in from the right side, trying to move into this rotation very, very quickly. They see the May, hoping to not get split, staying together very, very tightly. They're able to get through, but they get purpled. A bunch of damage coming through. The goat's comp just immediately falling apart. All of the damage is coming through, and red side just getting completely destroyed here. Zenyatta getting a bunch of good damage out here, but I'm not sure how much longer he's going to stay. Gonna have to reset here soon, or he's just going to delay the attack's time. Really good first hold. Only losing one member to the 4 on red sides. Red side looking to regroup in order to push back in. I think they have a really good idea of how to push past this May wall and stay closely together. They just need to make sure that they're pocketing the most important members of their team. Coming in, staying very tight together. Reinhardt getting stunned. They don't get separated by the May wall. They're all on the right side, but nobody eats the purple. Immediately shattered. Huge giant wipe coming through. People trying to get out with their charge. Zarya hopefully trying to hit something, but ends up getting staggered out at the end. Lucio getting a reprieve and able to get back in the spawn. Some really good ults coming out from Alaskan Anomalies. Shatter going to be up. Zenyatta should be up as well very, very soon. Lucio Beat is a really good engage tool that they can use. They just need to play a little slow, heal up, probably get some damage out from the Lucio player. Really huge dynamite coming out, burning several members. They have to slow down this push and heal up. Now they have both of their support ultimates. This is going to be much easier to be able to push into. The biggest thing that they have to worry about is the blue side's Blizzard that they have to deal with. Bunch of damage coming in through. Red side looking how they want to attack this. Finally getting split off their break completely on the other side. A huge graviton coming out, completely catching red side. Lucio, their massive speed boost, completely separated, coming in. Giant Bob coming in through. Just wiping the entire red side team. Blue side looking immediately confident, not looking to lose this fight out whatsoever. A lot of ultimates used. They still have 2 very strong ultimates in Blizzard and Nano to be able to deal with this next recontest that red side's trying to deal with. Red side's still looking to get their first graviton and keeping up Rally and Lucio Beat in order to engage. 2 very good engage tools. If they speed in, they should be able to rush towards point. Being able to get outside of Blizzard AoE is going to be very, very strong with coming into this. And we have a pause coming out. Team Disconnect living up to their name here. So, Mint, how do you think that they should combat this now that they're down a player on the blue side?
They need to focus on that May. That May is definitely starting to eat at them. They have the Lucio ult. That could hold them against the Blizzard, but I'm not sure if that'll hold them entirely. Yeah. They definitely...
Orin joining back.
Ooh.
Not much of a... Not a very long pause, so at least they're not long pause and disconnect, so we can get back into the game very, very quickly. The players probably figuring out how they're going to be able to deal with this defense and how red side can take advantage of this player down on blue side. Blue side does have the tools to be able to sustain a man down, especially with the Goats heroes that they do have. Blizzard coming out here. Beat immediate in reaction. Nade is on D.Va. D.Va's looking to be demeched here. Trading out their Rhine for a D.Va, very, very strong, but Lucio ended up falling here. Zarya having to pop her bubble very, very low, looking to recontest onto point, but it looks like Red side may have finally broken this due to an untimely disconnect from Team Disconnect. Now it's just about cleaning up the rest of this team without losing any members. Blue side coming in with a really strong recontest. 2 picks so far from the Doomfist. You can't let this happen. Zarya completely uncontested, very high charge, really easy grab coming out through. A lot of very low players, solo grab here. Bomb, a lot of ults having to be used here that they didn't need to had they had proper target focus. Red side coming in very, very low. Down 2 members, but they're looking to quickly recontest onto this point here. Red side looking to regroup using armor pack, trying to come in very, very quickly to be able to deal with this. Somebody's sleeping on the job here. The Zarya is slowing down their push just a couple of seconds. Far coming out from blue side. Looks like a version of triple DPS coming out here. Looking to be able to out damage the sustain that the enemy Goats composition has. A bunch of decent damage coming out. Concussive blast separating the team. Doomfist getting a solid punch on Brig. I bet a lot of people are happy to see that. Trance coming out, trying to sustain through this fight, trying to get back on a point and win this. 3 picks coming out from Alaskan Anomalies, very, very strong. It looks like they might cap this point. Doomfist looking to get his picks that he got on first, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to sustain through this. Lucio getting picked out yet again. Hate to see it. Red side just needs to hard commit onto targets to be able to not lose any more time on this time bank that they're going to have on the gap. Doomfist is now down. Mercy inting into the red side's team. Lucy, but it seems like blue side is able to come in and recontest due to the lack of focus fire from red side. Red side is going to have to be able to recontest here once again without a tick. Red side looking to regroup, looking for whichever angle they want to take. Looking to take high ground yet again from the enemy team, making their engage much easier. Are they switching their rollout? Looks like they are, trying to take main. Want to take this fight head on to the enemy team. Having two ults already online. Zarya grab almost up, looking to get single target picks here. Huge bomb demecking Bant here. Massive beat coming out, sustaining everybody through the fight. Mercy getting solo grabbed here. Genji Blade coming out, getting 1 pick, looking for another. Genji very, very low, able to be melted down by the enemy team. Now there's only Pharah left to contest this point, but Ball comes back in very, very quickly. Pharah dropping very, very low, looking to be spaced out. Doomfist coming back in, trying to get any picks he can. Gets immediately bursted by the enemy Brig. Ball just stalling any time that he can here. Massive shatter, catching 2. 2 picks are all they need here. Now they just need to finish out on this Genji here. Deflect can't block Zarya. Pharah coming in. Amida getting melted for her troubles. D.Va bomb here to keep them and space out the enemy team from any recontests, slowing them down. Doomfist coming back in, trying to split up the enemy team, but the Goats comp is not having it. Much better target focus this fight. Coming in, trying to make sure that they don't get split up. People getting knocked off the point, but they're still maintaining onto it. 2 ticks now for this fight, looking to capture this one last tick and still have time on the clock. Mei coming in, Mei using Ice Block here. Ball finally falling down. Mei's 1, they need to focus onto this Mei. She's going to be their best tool for stalling. Ball coming in, getting this massive res on him. Blade coming in, catching 1, catching another with the double dash with the resets. And it looks like blue side's able to weather this fight one more time.
30 seconds remaining.
Red side looking, they have one last fight here. Not a whole lot of ultimates on their side. Valkyrie on blue side. They might be able to sustain or damage boost through this next fight and be able to win this.
10 seconds.
Valkyrie being used, sustaining important members of the fight. Reinhardt falling down very, very quickly. They're just losing players left and right, very important players. Huge grab coming out, catching 3. They could clean this up, just 2 more fights. Massive bomb looking to spread out this team, catching 1, catching the Mercy. One of their biggest sustain tools through here. The Pharah's on her own, getting focused down by both the Zarya and the D.Va. Tracer coming back in, having to recall immediately back out. The Pharah is still alive, gets spaced out by the D.Va, and it looks like they finally cap. I believe that was an overtime as well, so if the enemy team does cap with time, they do have a win condition there.
Switching sides. Initiating match.
That was interesting that they switched to high movement type heroes against high movement type heroes. That kind of threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It didn't look like Team Disconnect wanted to take more static positions against the enemy Goats comp. I think they were afraid of being overrun, so they wanted to help maintain distance between them and the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
Ready for battle.
It looks like Red Side's wanting to run Goats here. They have to be very, very careful if Team Disconnect tries to run out on triple DPS. You have to play around the map geometry here, making sure that you're taking rock cover to where you don't get burned out of your resources very, very quickly.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
Red Side looking for an early hold. Looks like we're going to have Hanzo Goats coming out here with the Mercy as a backup, providing that extra damage onto the Hanzo, increasing their shield break over Team Alaskan Anomalies shield break. Reinhardt getting absolutely stunned and just melted by Alaskan Anomalies here. Alaskan Anomalies looking to push, win this fight for themselves, and give them steady ult advantage over Team Disconnect. The enemy Brig trying to sustain, but getting absolutely executed by Xerath here. Steady poke battle happening between both of them. Danny falling very, very low. Needed that armor pack, but it missed and went onto the Zarya instead. Able to sustain regularly, just holding shield, burning off time off the clock just like they need to. Huge shatter coming out, catching 5. Pharah just looking for poke damage, but it's not enough compared to the massive damage that Goats is able to do and provide onto Team Disconnect, allowing Alaskan Anomalies to win this fight very handily without having to use many ultimates here. Huge sustain ultimates coming out in the for Alaskan Anomalies. Rally able to help sustain them and make sure that they're able to hold this wall. And Bant's D.Va Bomb will be very, very strong for separating them as they try to push on the point. Dragon Strike is online for the Hanzo. It can be a very powerful tool to either combine with Shatter. Grab coming out, combining it with the Dragon Strike, just absolutely getting melted. They could not do anything. And dropping that immortality field to keep them up during this fight. They did not give Alaskan Anomalies a chance there. Red side making some switches here, trading out that Reinhardt for a Winston, hoping to be able to split out the backline and help separate the team and allow the rest of his team to work very, very strong in unison. Pharah on the right side here of the defense. The Goats composition is split up currently. They're losing a lot of value and they're giving up a lot of ground. Being pressured on both sides right now. Huge Shatter is blocked, does not get anything. Reinhardt just committed into this fight, but Immortality Field helps sustain them through this, allows them to heal up. Danny being heavily sustained out from Tofu here. Battle Mercy coming in, trying to deal with this grandma in the background, but gets slept for his troubles. But giant Immortality Field on the fight. But Nanoed Monkey just ripping through this enemy team. They're looking to separate Alaskan Anomalies with this Dragon Strike. but it doesn't seem to do them any good. Reinhardt shield falling very, very low. Reinhardt looking for something, gets a pin, but does not kill the Brig. Brig able to sustain through this massive grab, catching out the Mercy. That's what's going to help them sustain through this fight. Moving back onto the Reinhardt, that's what's going to help keep them on this point, and then they just melt through them. Really good target focus here from Alaskan Anomalies. Shatter and Immortality Field, two very, very big ults coming out from Team Disconnect. Looking to try and win this fight out with time. They do have 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. A massive Shatter into Amplification Matrix with a Fire Strike should be able to melt out the majority of the squishies on Alaskan Anomalies' team. Falling to the low ground, this is where Reinhardt deals with much, much better. Catches a Shatter, catches a lot of enemy members, is able to wipe out this team fight. D.Va getting demec'd here. Baby D.Va versus the world, loses out very, very quickly due to the Valkyrie here. Hanzo trying to separate, give them only 1 point to come out through. Fire Barrage coming out, melting through this enemy team, and it looks like Team Disconnect is going to be able to win out this fight. D.Va coming in, looking to try and get something out of this bomb, but Immortality Field's dropped. Even if it does go through, it won't kill anybody. Ball getting absolutely melted, and Team Disconnect does win, does capture with time. They will be able to come in for a second round fight.
Initiating match.
This round is going to come down to basically how badly Alaskan Anomalies wants to, I guess, in a sort of tie it or win.
Alaskan Anomalies does have the ability to draw this out for themselves, but they have to play very, very smart. Make sure that they're properly rotating their ultimates. I think they should be looking towards being able to deal with DPS heroes much, much better. Possibly more sustained, possibly bringing out a Baptiste of their own, or looking for a Winston to be able to separate their backline from their front line to allow the core of the team to be able to deal with Team Disconnect very, very easily.
Nothing's gonna stop.
But it looks like Alaskan Anomaly is looking to win or die by this GOATS composition. I think they feel very, very comfortable with it. I think they're looking to be able to sustain through this fight and hopefully not give them the tech that Team Disconnect needs to win this map. Stormbow out, looking to destroy the shield. They're backing up, taking a lot of damage, Alaskan Anomalies, but they're able to sustain through this early pressure. Looking to hold this wall, playing around it very, very well. Just able to keep up through these concussive blasts here, but they just end up falling towards all of this damage that's on Team Disconnect side, and it looks like Team Disconnect may have won this map. Nobody able to come out from Alaskan Anomalies and be able to win this. 1-0 Team Disconnect.
Play of the game.
Massive Reinhardt play coming out here. Giant Fire Strike coming in, absolutely supporting his team to the max. Play completely wasn't Hanzo here in this instance. So now we look to see what map is going to be picked next.
I can fold.
Eichenwald, a really strong GOATS map. first point defense you can be extremely favored because there's a lot of geometry to be able to play around and allow you to bob and weave from multiple DPS angles and force them onto the point and allow you to dictate the fight that you take instead of having to take the fight straight on with the DPS comp.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like there's going to be some swaps coming out from Alaskan Anomalies, looking to move Zareth out and bringing in Toast 59.
Team Disconnect and Alaskan Anomalies already.
Traveling to Eichenberg. Initiating match.
I wonder what this player substitution is going to mean for Alaskan Anomalies. I wonder if that changes what compositions that this team is looking to be able to play. Possibly putting Bant on her main, Mercy. Trying to actively put her in a carry role, so to speak.
That would be really interesting to see.
Or they could stick it out with the goats. Their goats did look quite decent.
Ready for battle.
Are we getting baited? Oh, we got baited by the Torb. I was hoping to see it for a second. But Goats does have the ability to be able to hold out this fight. They just have to make sure that they pick their spots carefully when they go onto the defense and look to bait them on the point and be able to find a singular person to be able to engage on and burst them down very, very quickly. That's where multi-DPS compositions falter. Unlike Goats who can sustain through losing one or two members, triple DPS loses massive value each time that they lose a member because of how synergistic and how important each member is to the team. Alaskan Anomalies looking to hold here early. I'm not sure if that's the best bet to do against a multi-DPS comp here.
They're really shield heavy.
Very, very shield heavy. Lucio losing out very, very quickly. They do not have the speed. They have to be backing up. Cannot hold these spots. They're just going to die to this far here. They have to be moving back. They're losing a lot of resources very, very quickly. Exactly what triple DPS wants to be doing. And they just lose this fight very, very quickly. Within 30 seconds. They do have the ability to be able to change some things up. They do have the time to look to quickly reset. Be able to deal with this comp much better. Oh no, Zenyatta getting booped off. You hate to see it. But Alaskan Anomalies needs to take the time to completely reset their composition. Make sure that they're able to deal with the enemy triple DPS composition much quicker and much faster, because they're just going to get rolled over if they keep on doing this. Bunch of damage coming out very, very quickly. A lot of ultimates getting online for Team Disconnect. Looking to swapping out to a Genji here. That might be a good play against the double hit scan that they do currently have. Bant swapping to Mercy. Hopefully they swap out this Reinhardt. A Winston might be much stronger here in this instance. And they do swap it. Swapping towards a Hanzo as well, hoping to take that sniper 1v1 against the enemy Widow. But a lot of very, very strong ultimates are coming out from the side of Team Disconnect. Whilst being popped, they know which rotation that Team Alaskan Anomalies is going to be taking out here. Alaskan Anomalies taking their time, realizing that they have they have the ability to take this out. Getting Barrage, only one. Trading for 3 though, very, very strong here. Able to come and wipe out these characters. Now they're able to stop this cart push here. Shatter 3K just absolutely getting melted. Trying to get some sort of exit frag. Does get the Genji with a massive dink. But Danny returns the favor with a giant monkey fist. Team disconnect. Oh no, Bant dying with the res, but at least they rest somebody. They're not completely down here. Oh no, Zenyatta looking to take the duel, and Genji saving his partner in crime here. Widow looking for some sort of picks, does not seem to be getting it. Finds one on Winston here. They're just falling apart. They need to reset and make sure that they're stacked as 6. It's the only way that they're going to be able to effectively deal with this multi-DPS comp. Because there's too many angles that they have to deal with and a lot of ultimates that they have to be able to sustain through. Both supports getting picked out here. Time for a reset. The DPS getting finally singled out. Actually just getting dinked in their process, trying to head back home safely. Genji popping deflect way too early and then gets a headshot in his face for his troubles. Battle Mercy coming out. Bant trying to carry her team. Looking to sustain, backing up, making sure that they're resetting. They can take their time here. Wait, triple TPS loses a lot of value. There's only so many angles now that they can take. It's going to be much easier for this dive composition to be able to deal with this composition. Massive Dragon Surge coming out, forcing a bunch of ultimates out very, very quickly. Transcendence used to not much value. Barrage does get one, but is immediately traded for her troubles. But Team Disconnect just keeps on trading in their favor. Massive Diva Bomb coming out, a 3K coming out from Alaskan Anomalies here. Very, very strong. They're able to deal with what looked like a lost fight. That was a massive clutch play from Toast here. Toast overextending a little bit. You can back up. Make sure you take a proper fight that you need. Looks like they don't want to give them any space though. Toast falling very, very low. Finally backing up now. Swapping to a Reinhardt here. Team Disconnect looking to get a massive shatter to be able to finish out this map. They have 3 minutes left. Walls being popped up. Not sure how much value they're going to get here, but they will know exactly where they are. Bob coming out definitely is going to do something. Baits out Transcendence here, trying to sustain through the fight. Bant trying to 1v1 a giant Omnic Butler. Bob's able to pick 2. Genji Blade coming out, catching 1, looking for another, but Toast is still just winning this fight for them. Genji Blade catching 2 here. 2 for 1's very, very strong. Only needing to use 2 ults for the massive DPS ults that they were using. Really good trade and able to sustain through this fight. 3 minutes is looking much easier for them to hold now compared to their first 2 points. Diva Bomb and Valkyrie is online for Team Alaskan Anomalies here. Not much up for Team Disconnect, but they're looking to just push for this fight. Diva Bomb coming out, looking to split this team. They're pushing in. Reinhardt falling very, very low. Able to pick out 3 very, very quickly on this fight. Genji using dash is now easy pickings for this Winston. Genji's won. But it looks like they're more focused on dealing with this Zenyatta. Zenyatta punching his former pupil in the face or a boot to the head. But it looks like they're just sustaining through this fight. Team Disconnect continuously living up to their name. You know you love to see it. RN looking to just give them the necessary time to where they can think up a plan, make sure that they're able to win this fight out with time. That's all they're probably looking for. Because time is very, very precious to have, especially on hybrid maps like these, because you do want time to be able to cap the point and be able to push it.
I was wondering if they're going to keep going with that 3 DPS. I'm glad they switched.
At this level of play, you could possibly keep it, but it becomes very, very hard for the Pharah to be able to do anything safely. Diva doesn't have to use the full duration of her boosts in order to get into a position to be able to deal maximum damage to the Pharah. And just overall, it puts you in a lot of bad situations with a lot of your DPS heroes. You could swap to a 2-2-2 composition, which pretty much both teams are at right now, which can be very, very strong, but having multiple DPS can make it very Now, if we look at the ult economy for both sides, Team Disconnect looking for are soon to have a Genji Blade and a Shatter. Combining those ultimates can be very, very strong, and shattering Team Alaskan Anomalies can help build up their Transcendence and Graviton very, very quickly. If Alaskan Anomalies can sustain through both of those ultimates, they will have the ability to follow up on those as well and make sure that they can keep up the fight win in their favor. But Dragon Strike is out and is going to be able to separate their team and be able to deal with this much quicker, as well as having Primal Rage out on Danny's Winston. Coming in now. Oren now swapping to Doomfist, looking to do a bunch of value as they did on Hanamura here. Winston looking to separate the team. Still has jump. Gets slept for his engagement. Primal Raging trying to deal with his Ana very, very quickly. Gets the Ana. A lot of sustain now and completely lacking from Team Disconnect. Winston is able to get out, and this trade favors them very, very heavily. Team DC looking to push into here, but I don't advise it very well. They should just be looking for the reset. The time is on their side here. Looking for a Shatter, huge Shatter. Transcendence keeping his team alive, but oh no, Bant gets picked out with the pin here. They're down 2. Team Alaskan Anomalies might look to reset. They do have the timing and the spacing. Ghost looking for another hero play. Doesn't get anything from his bomb this time. Doomfist hyper-aggressing here. Gets picked off by Zenyatta. A very, very strong Graviton Surge coming out here, allowing to pick 2. Now the fight is just going exactly as Team Disconnect wants it to happen. Bant looking for something, but finds nothing. And they cap the point with at least a minute on the clock.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Now I wonder what Team Disconnect's going to pull out here. Triple DPS can be run here and is very, very strong and can take a lot of angles to where they can't really get punished. Their fire is going to be harder to shoot from long-range hit scans such as Ashe or Widow. Their other DPS heroes can go on massive flanks and be able to escape with them as well. But I wonder if they're going to favor DPS or bunker as well, but they may just go for a Winston play here as well. And I think Alaskan Anomalies is going to try winning out these fights with goats.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Keep up with me?
There's a Reaper being
There
used.
is a Reaper. Just looking at the enemy goats comp as a bunch of tasty health packs. Looking to build up Death Blossom very, very quickly here. Looking to just combo with a bunch of really solid ultimates. A lot of sustain coming out from Team Disconnect here as well. But Goats is not afraid. Has a bunch of tools to deal with this. They eat the nade. The cheeky nade that's coming out for, but Danny just pushes too far for his team to be able to pocket him. And it looks like Team Alaskan Anomalies are going to have to reset. Reaper coming in. Cheeky teleport getting absolutely melted. Exactly as you want to see it. Oh no, Tofu falling out late in this fight. Going to stall them out just a little bit. But it will help them burn off a little bit of Team Disconnect Zarya energy. Not much though. He should be at least 60 when they come in for this recontest here. Orb is down. These are some solid cooldowns that Goats wants to be able to punish. The poke phase. Toast trying to build up some solid Zarya energy before they engage here. Reaper looking to come on the flank. Ana looking to do the same play. Is able to get the purple off this time. Massive ultimates coming out from both sides. People are just getting melted by these giant piercing ultimates from the Moira and the Hanzo here. Tofu not knowing when to turn around and press W. Just holds S instead. You are slow holding S backwards. Goat's just looking to reset, hopefully burning them out of resources. Oh no, Danny goes for the Shattered hero play, but it does not work out. Gets lasered in his face for his attempts. Toast, very high energy, looking to do something with this very, very quickly. All they need is Danny here to be able to soak in a bunch of this early damage. A lot of really strong ultimates on Team Disconnect side. Nano, Graviton, and Shatter. Nick trying to come in and look for this hero play with the Shatter. Just absolutely looking. Misses it, gets stunned in return. Purple coming out. Sustaining through with this Transcendence, but the damage is too high. They can't heal through it all. But a lot of ultimates are being dedicated into this fight. A lot more than are needed. Alaskan Anomalies can punish this. They only have Death Blossom coming up. Shatter can be up soon, but they can deny a lot of the speed that it can deal with by eating these nades or getting resources in exchange for tanking them using their bubbles to build Zarya's energy to be able to come in here. A lot of solid ultimates coming out. Beat Rally and their own Graviton. Reinhardt able to sneak out of it with his own Shatter. Doesn't get anything out of it. Death Blossom looking, catches one. And Alaskan Anomalies just falling over to the massive aggression that Team Disconnect is able to provide.
Repositioning.
1 minute. 1 minute is a very small time bank, but Goat's composition can be able to break through this. They need to make sure that they're trading their resources very, very favorably. Reinhardt's Reaper's just inside, gets absolutely melted, dinked by Bant. Graviton looking to not do anything. Beat, hopefully to sustain them to the fight, but there's just too much damage coming out from Team Disconnect. Shatter's being exchanged, but Nick gets the better Shatter at the end here. Nano just absolutely allowing him to wreck through Danny here. And 30 seconds left. Hopefully they can do something with some of the ultimates that they currently have. Bomb has the ability to either split or get massive kills for Alaskan Anomalies. Bomb coming out, looking to separate them. Just gets blocked. Gets a pick though. This is exactly what they need. They're pushing through. They're not totally separated. 2 picks coming up from their side. They can sustain through this fight. They just need to play together, play smart. Doomfist getting some picks out here. But the fight is going Alaskan Anomalies' way. They just need to finish out these kills. And it looks like they're finally going to do it. Massive Graviton coming out. Rally committed as well. And they're able to finally capture this point. Lost 4 minutes on the time bank, but that's perfectly fine. They're able to cap it in the end. 2 minutes and roughly 30 seconds now to be able to cap point 2. Can they do it?
That which is unseen.
Holding castle here is Team Disconnect. They don't seem afraid. Slightly split off here. Danny swapping to the Winston, hoping to deal with this high ground much better. Is able to force off the Hanzo here. Massive pin coming out, but Nick is just falling to this piercing damage and cleave from the Winston. Solid picks. Bant's catching somebody out with her boosters. Danny coming in, jumping in for this engagement, but Danny's going to get punished for it with a boop. Trading kills out here, but they lose Diva Mech, so they're essentially down half a character now. Zarya falling pretty low, catches only one. Tofu using Transcendence to be able to stand through this fight. They believe it's winnable. Separating it, booping off the Zarya, very, very strong, but Nick coming in with a sneaky flank Shatter, able to catch 2 and wipe them out very quickly. Danny needs to be looking to get out of this fight or kill himself. But oh no, they do get the kill credits though. That's some decent ult charge coming out for Team Disconnect here. 1 minute left on the clock. They still have the time. They pushed it halfway. They just need to get through bridge and they should be A-okay capping point B.
60 seconds remaining.
They need to be looking to separate them from this high ground. They do not want to get pushed in on here. Danny committing boosts as well as Bant, but Bant's going to get punished for this. They didn't call out that they were just doing a soft dive here. They're down 1. Extending in this fight, they can take the time to reset. Unless they think it's winnable. They traded a Lucio for a Reinhardt. That's possibly what they need. But now they're just losing more heroes and committing ultimates into this fight. I don't think they're going to be able to win this unless massive hero plays come out. Massive grab coming out. A lot of cleave damage coming through. Able to catch one, able to catch two. It looks like they're actually going to make this work here. Just need to watch out for these Lucio boops. Lucio falling pretty low. Toast keeping up very high energy here. Is going to be able to just melt through people here. Fant getting caught out by this shatter. Lucio getting booped off, is going to die. Fant looking for some sort of pick here. Rally being committed onto this fight, looking to heal through this, but it looks like now they're just falling to these kills. And it looks like Team Disconnect may have won map 2. 2-0 Team Disconnect. How do you think Alaskan Anomalies feeling being down 0-2 now?
I noticed that sometimes if a team doesn't win right away, like they had a really good play of the game in the first game and then they lose within however many minutes that they originally had to go against, they sometimes lose hope, and then it kind of deteriorates in their gameplay.
Yeah, I do believe Bant has the ability to grab her team and build them up and tell them that we do have the ability to win this out. They do have the ability, and they do have the superior compositional compositions to be able to deal with these to be able to deal with Team Disconnect much better. Now it's do or die time. Coming down 0-2 in a best of 5. Whoever gets this, if Team Disconnect gets this next map win, they're going to go home with the W. But this is
Busan is next. This is definitely going to be an interesting playthrough.
A lot of these maps do favor multi-DPS compositions, especially Sanctuary and Downtown. Mecha Base is a little bit harder, but it is doable. You have to generally exchange out your Pharah for another long-range hit scan or spam hero. But so this might favor Team Disconnect unless Alaskan Anomalies do have multi-DPS compositions of their own to be able to deal with this.
Now traveling to Busan. Initiating match.
Downtown.
Downtown starting off here, a lot of very good long-range sightlines. DPS are favored here.
Usually Widowmakers are found right up, situated kind of 45-degree angle up point. Sometimes an Ash as well.
Ready for battle.
Ooh, bringing out a Symmetra.
It looks like Team Alaskan Anomalies looking to come out with a very strong dive composition here. One of the better tools to be able to deal with multi-DPS comps. But it looks like Team Disconnect's about to throw them for a number, looking to finally play a Gaunt's composition of themselves of themselves.
Round 1. Capture the objective.
They're looking to come out on the point very, very quickly here. Noticing that they're running the Goats composition, I severely suggest they walk back to spawn. I highly doubt they're going to be able to break this Goats fight here. But they do get this pick. What is going on? Trading out Zenyatas. It is not a good day to be an Omnic month right now. But Goats does have the tools to be able to deal with this. Chester Bud getting picked off by Dog. A lot of picks not going in their favor. Rasa just falling now. Danny losing as well. A lot of ult charge coming out for Team Disconnect's Goats composition. And it looks like Alaskan Anomalies are going to start swapping some heroes out, looking to take the Goats mirror here. Some decent charge in their Winston. They could possibly keep it, possibly trade it out. Could go with either one. They opt to go with the Reinhardt to be able to deal with probably a soon-to-be Shatter on Nick's side. Huge Shatter coming out, catching nearly the whole team. Getting wiped out very, very quickly. Alaskan Anomalies having to go back home with their tails between their legs. And Alaskan Anomalies looking to quickly reset. Not Alaskan Anomalies. Team Disconnect looking to reset very, very quickly here. Not looking to give Alaskan Anomalies any chance to build any ult charge, just staggering out the percentage in their favor. An early 40% lead. Alaskan Anomalies looking to take a wide rotation, trying to get to point very, very quickly. The only thing they need to look out for is getting booped here. A quick boop coming out, but doesn't do a whole lot. Slows down their push, though. A lot of burst damage coming in through. Danny blocking out the Shatter very, very strong, but they might die to this Diva Bomb in exchange. Not a very good day to be a Zenyatta player here. A lot of quick trades coming out. Shatter 3K falling to his death probably isn't going to be too much of a bane for Team Disconnect. But as the ults do start to favor Team Disconnect in these fights, but Team Alaskan Anomalies do have ultimates coming out on their side. 10% left needed. They need to make plays now. They have to push to the point. Popping Rally looking to engage, but it looks like they're going to be stalled out by this Graviton. Somebody has to be rushing their point. Hopefully the Lucio looking to make some sort of hero play here. Bant trying to get on the point. Shatter coming out. Both Shatters coming out. Not a whole lot coming through. Secondary Transbeam Pop sustaining Team Disconnect through the fight. Looking for picks. Nick falls down. Beat coming out from Team Disconnect. They're hoping to be able to stall out this fight. Rally being committed just as well. Or it looks like Alaskan Anomalies is sustaining through this fight. Weathering these ultimates. Huge Graviton coming out. A lot of ults coming out. Bant coming out. Getting the 2-piece here. And the Biscuit with the Diva Mech. Let's go. Dog being stalled out just a little bit. Now full committing to the stall. Oh, they could have waited just a bit longer. But Rasa, impatient, does not want to see this Diva in his face anymore. And Alaskan Anomalies does cap the point. Can they full hold this? Ultimates looking to slightly favor Alaskan Anomalies here. They have much sooner to their sustained support ultimates and rally as well. Shatter. Danny falling very, very low. Does not capture anything with his Shatter. Whole bunch of ultimates being committed. Oh no, Bant misjudging the AoE damage of the Diva Bomb, ending up getting demeched for her troubles. Oh no, but it looks like they end up losing to this first fight here. Tofu looking to do something, but just falling through. Toast dying just as well. Danny giving up. Doesn't think that he can make it back. You hate to see it. If you're gonna lose to something, you want to lose to what you've been losing to in the previous matches. Seeing a brand new composition being thrown at you that you think that you have the better knowledge on, has to feel bad. Team Disconnect has to be playing the mental game now. They've won the battle. Now they're trying to finish the war. Alaskan Anomalies has to weather this. They need to focus on just this map. Focus one map at a time now. That's their best bet of being able to win out this series. Sticking on a Goats v Goats. This map does favor them a little bit better. They should be able to, if they play right and sustain Danny through these poke phases, they should be much better through this. They're trying to get to point much sooner, giving up this high ground, but I think they favor point control over this high ground over here. The poke phase, not a whole lot going through, just an exchange of cooldowns. Boot coming out doesn't do anything, but does take them up the high ground. But they do control point first. They need to make sure that they're all grouped up here. When Goat starts getting separated, that's when things fall apart. Oh no, Zari being completely separated from the team. Reinhardt just coming in, pressing W and holding down mouse button 1. Just swinging through, catches Tofu out. Dog demeched. Danny now falling as well, and it looks like Alaskan Anomalies are going to end up losing this fight. A lot of ultimates on Team Disconnect's side. Alaskan Anomalies just needs to die quickly. Don't try and stem the bleeding.
Game on.
Ross is stalling himself out here. I don't think he's going to get anything. He needs to die. He's stalling out some unnecessary percentage for Team Disconnect here. Alaskan Anomalies looking to reset, looking for their better rotation here now. Looking that they have to take this fight straight on. They are down in ult percentage, but with better cooldown rotations, they might be able to sustain through this fight with raw damage. Oh no, Danny falling through. The rest of his team getting shattered because of it. Bant looking to sustain through this, and now they're just getting melted. Looking to hold up in their spawn right now, coming up with a plan, figuring out how they're going to attack this. They still have time to be able to take decent fights here, looking to even up the ult charge here on both sides. A lot more ults coming through. An early rally coming out, being answered by Alaskan Anomalies beat. Huge grab coming out, separated because of the Graviton. Transcendence does not get a whole lot of value. Massive bomb coming out from Team Disconnect here. Tofu looking to get any sort of exit frags here, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Bant getting stalled out here. You hate to see it. 20% left for Team Disconnect to try and win this fight. 20% for Alaskan Anomalies to try and fight back here and give themselves a chance. Alaskan Anomalies committing to this, what could be their last fight here. Trying to push in an early bubble from Toast, looking to build up some early energy. Danny shattering, doesn't get anything out of it. Shatter sustaining his team through this fight now with his Transcendence. Alaskan Anomalies sending out ults, trying to get... Picks are going their way, but Bant ends up falling. Looks like Alaskan Anomalies trying to take this fight to the point. Trying to sustain through this. They're able to demech Dog. Tofu looking to frag out completely. Danny trying to commit the shatter, but it doesn't get anything. Dies. And it looks like... And Bant's coming back onto the point, committing this bomb. I don't think it's going to get anything. Bant trying to remech, but just stall at this point, allowing her team to come back. But it looks like Team Disconnect ends up winning this 3-0. Really hard fought battle from both sides. Alaska Anomalies looked like they knew exactly how they wanted to play. Committed to their play, did not try to change anything up. Try to make a adaptation on Busan, but you didn't think that they would pull out goats, but they did. And it sucks to see it. Who would you say is the MVP of this series here?
I honestly enjoyed them all. I can't really pick a favorite right now. I don't know. Nick stood out to me, I think.
Nick stood out. The very, very central point of his team. Massive shatters constantly.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like how Team Disconnect was actually more adaptive than Alaskan Anomalies. That to me kind of put my money on the table for Team Disconnect.
Yeah, let's go with Nick here.
Yeah.
Are we gonna call him? I don't know if we're still to be heard on the stream or not.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey Nick, how you doing?
I'm good.
How do you feel after that win there?
That felt good. We played very well. I'm very happy for my team.
Good to see it. Good to see it. What made you guys decide to swap to goats on Busan compared to the previous two maps?
Someone just said goats, and we decided why not. It's also a very good goats map, so
Compared to the previous two maps, I would say DPS is much more favored on Busan compared to Hanamura and Eichenwald.
during our scrim practices, goats. Sorry, one sec.
No problem.
We struggle very slightly on that map, so we figured goats might be a bit easier to pull off.
Okay. It's good to hear. Was there anybody that stood out for you on your team that really helped keep things together and going?
I think we all did good. Like, we were all communicating very well. We were all playing very well. I don't think it was any one player who carried.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Mint, any questions that you want to ask?
Just thank you for hosting the tournament.
Oh.
It's a lot of fun. I don't really have anything to ask, though.
Oh no, I asked Mint.
Oh, my bad.
My throat's
okay.
kind of going.
I guess those big shatter plays, like, how did you decide, like, oh yeah, it's time for me to shatter? Or did you all communicate and say, yeah, go and do it, we'll throw out
Some were communicated, some I just went for, and then some of them were just my Reinhardt instincts kicking in. You know how it is sometimes?
Yeah, I do. I do. Alright, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for showing up, and congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
I guess
Um,
there we have it.
and there I think we're gonna sign off here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the first series of the Watchpoint Alpha tournament. Team Disconnect getting the 3-0 over Alaska Anomalies. I know certain people probably aren't super favored with this scoreline, but you have to be able to take it in stride and come in with the next game much stronger. So we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
Fantasy.